The Blue Peter team always go to great places for their expeditions, don't they? This year, as I speak, they're in Mexico, and last year they visited Canada. And here's your second chance to see some of those highlights.
This is the way to travel, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's solid!
It's melting here.
Got it. I'll put it down there, Marty. That's her.
How do you describe Canada? Towering mountain peaks? Endless rolling prairie? An Arctic wilderness? The longest coastline in the world? Modern cities? And mile upon mile of nothing.
Put simply, the second largest country in the world is huge. In fact, it's hard for us to imagine just how huge it is. You could fit Britain inside Canada 40 times, yet its population is only half ours. That gives some idea of how empty a lot of the country is.
The road we're on at the moment is the Trans-Canada Highway. It begins in the east in Newfoundland and stretches to Vancouver on the Pacific West Coast. And it's almost 5,000 miles long.
And it's the longest national highway in the world.
Right, long way to walk.
During this programme, we'll also be travelling across Canada, luckily not all by road, to give you a glimpse of the big country.
Romana and I will be trying out the world's largest shopping centre for size.
I'll be trying my hand at the luge.
And I'll be on the trail of Canada's grizzly bears.
Because of the sheer size of the country, Canadians have to deal with different areas having different times. The country is split up into 6 distinct time zones. So, while I'm enjoying breakfast here in Vancouver on the west coast,
It's early afternoon here on the other side of the country in St John's, Newfoundland, and I'm just going to sit here and enjoy a nice cup of tea.
Another thing Canadians are very good at is coping with the weather. It's a country of extremes, freezing winters and boiling summers.
Here in Montreal, in the French-speaking province of Quebec, the temperature in the winter can be as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius, whereas in the summer it can be a steaming plus 40 degrees. That's the greatest temperature range of any city anywhere in the world. But fear not, the Montrealers have come up with an ingenious way of dealing with those freezing winters. Time to go undercover. Montreal's famous underground city is virtually a city within a city. And I can't see a thing with things. It contains 18 miles of walkways, 10 underground stations, 20 cinemas, 200 restaurants, 7 hotels, 2 universities and, I'm told, even a cathedral. So it could be snowing outside, but you can go to work, you can shop, catch a movie, get something to eat, do whatever you like in the depths of the frozen winter without ever having to reach for your thermals. Wonderful. Give me sunshine in your smile. Bonjour.
2,000 miles west in the city of Edmonton, Alberta, they've taken the idea even further. No, I haven't been transported to an exotic Caribbean island. This is World Water Park, and it's just one of the features of the world's largest shopping and entertainment complex, West Edmonton Mall.
It also has the world's biggest indoor bungee jump.
when the complex was planned, a shopping centre alone wasn't going to be good enough. Something altogether bigger was designed, a place where people could come and spend time and money to escape the brutal Edmonton winters. It's been a hit, with 20 million visits a year.
There are over 800 shops here, but there's plenty more to see than that, isn't there?
Sure is. If you really want to see it in its full glory, then you can try one of these nifty scooters.
So long as you've got a bit of time on your hands, anyway.
Which we do, of course.
Right.
Oh.
See you in a bit. Over 15,000 people work here, so it's a town in its own right.
Not me, definitely not.
It has its own police force, it has the world's biggest indoor lake, there's an ice skating rink, a full-size replica of Columbus's ship Santa Maria. Thank you. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. It's big. But then, why not? One thing Canada isn't short of is space.
Rich, come over here and find something for you.
Don't tell me the world's largest indoor amusement park.
How did you guess?
Come on.
Come on, Richard, this is for you.
Yeah, you looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Richard.
All right. Ladies first.
You go first, Richard. Don't you go? You go first, and I'll follow.
All right. Oh. All right, you're up.
Richard. Okay. Bye, Rich.
Well, thanks. I'm not nervous, I'm fine. This is quite fast enough. Well, I'm just climbing up the biggest indoor roller coaster in the world. It's got the highest G-force of any roller coaster in the world, and I'm about to travel at 97 kilometers an hour, but I'm sure it'll be a breeze. That was easy.
Best present I've ever given him.
McBean and Hiddle, women's rowing, Olympic gold, Canadian.
Bailey, Esme, Gilbert, Sowen, men's relay, Olympic gold, Canadian.
Donovan Bailey, men's 100 metres, Olympic gold, Canadian.
Alison Seidel, 3 times mountain bike world champion, Canadian. So, if you're in Canada and you're not into sport, you're in the wrong place.
In Canada, sport has been rated the country's #1 pastime, whether it's riding the rapids in Whistler, snowboarding in the Rockies, or rollerblading in Vancouver. The outdoor sporting life is all part of Canadian culture.
And here children start early. Every summer when the schools break up for the holidays, hundreds of children head for sports summer camp.
And no summer kids camp would be complete without the biggest kid in Canada.
In Canada, there are summer camps for practically every sport you can imagine, and I've been nominated for a spot of paddling.
Which way are we going? This way?
I would like you to get in buddies again, and remember 4 people to carry canoes down to the water. Okay?
What 4 people for a canoe again? How many is like
Three in each canoe, please.
Okay. So shall I put my oar in here, yeah?
Let's go.
Okay. Got it?
Yep, I got it.
We call them kayaks, the Canadians call them canoes. These 3-man boats are based on original ones used by the early settlers and the native peoples.
You're gonna get really wet. Trust me.
I trust you. I just don't want to get wet.
Well, you're gonna get wet.
It's good to steering.
Wrong way, Jimmy.
No.
Laura and Jeremy were taking me on an adventure through Toronto Harbour and beyond.
Good steering, Jeremy. Let's stay with the group. That's always a good idea. Look at that with the view of Toronto behind us. It's brilliant.
It's just fantastic. Look, we can see the CN Tower behind us. Okay, Jeremy, where are we heading? Which direction?
Follow the lead boat.
Set us a course, Captain.
Follow the lead boat.
Follow the lead boat.
So I take it we're going straight in.
Straight in. This is the secret place. We made it. So I'm ready for action. Wow, isn't this beautiful? It's like a sort of little secret lagoon, isn't it?
We arrived at a deserted island in the heart of Toronto Harbour.
Summer camps are really fun because you get to like canoe and stuff, and you get to sail, and you get to swim, and all the sports, any sport that you can think of.
Next week I'm going to go to a basketball camp for 2 weeks, and there they usually play basketball for the morning and play tennis maybe because they have tennis courts.
Bring it round parallel with the beach.
When you go to school every day and you do sports there's a lot more pressure because you're trying to get high grades in sports and everything. But here it's just fun.
And after all that, we've arrived at Toronto's very own tropical island. Very nice.
Some summer camps are organised for Canada's sports stars of tomorrow. The Canada Olympic Park near Calgary, home of the 1988 Winter Olympics, is one of them.
Well, I'm beginning to learn that to be a good ski jumper, not only have you got to have nerves of steel, you've also got to have calves of steel because you've got to climb all the way up. But luckily, here are two people, Nigel and Paul, who have got both things. Oh, I'm exhausted. So, what on earth makes you want to throw yourself down there and fly?
Just the thrill of flight, because you get the feeling of just gliding through the air, and it's just a great rush.
Is it enjoyable, really?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Now, please tell me this isn't the kind of jump that you start on.
No. First of all, you're introduced to ski jumping and go down the landing hills a few times just to get used to the skis. Then they start you off on the small jumps, so like the 15 and 30 meter, and just slowly work your way up.
To this, how long would you have to be doing it to do something like this?
It depends. I jumped this my second summer, but some people take longer, some are shorter.
So for both of you, do you want to do the Olympics one day?
Probably 2002 Olympics or 2006 or World Juniors next year in Switzerland.
Fantastic. Well, I wish you both luck. I just don't understand. What would possess you to do it?
Good stuff.
Thanks.
You pleased with that?
What?
You pleased with that one?
Yeah, fairly decent.
Good. What sort of speeds were you doing?
Probably about 85k.
Well, listen, I would join you up there, but I think Katie's beating me to it. Katie, your turn next, but not that one, no. The one over there, the 90-metre one. Yeah, that's definitely more your style, OK?
Yeah, Stuart, anything you say. Stuart, look at me, I found my skis. Look, wait.
I can't believe you got away with that. I mean, no skis, honestly. If you're not going to do that, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
What about the summer luge?
OK, but you need ice for the luge and it's summer.
I've got news for you.
What?
There is ice!
OK, I'm not scared. Don't think I'm scared of the luge, Stuart, because I'm not.
OK, this is it.
I'm ready. I'm padded up.
Luge woman!
I'm not ready. Have you got any tips for me from the crest
Don't
of the
close your eyes, all right? Keep them open all the way, definitely, yes. Enjoy,
Have you got any tips for me?
Okay, what I need you to do is just slide forward a bit. Hang on right here. Put your feet up.
I won't be hanging on, don't you worry.
Okay, just remember to keep your shoulders back and your feet up.
And smile. Now. Oh, you probably heard me coming.
Oh, that.
What's the damage?
29,678.
Is that good?
It's really good.
Ah, right.
Way to go.
Thank you very much. The early British visitors to Canada travelled rather more comfortably.
The arrival of the steam train revolutionised transport in Canada. the railway pulled a vast country together.
The expansion of Canada westwards towards the bleak prairies and beyond depended on the railways. The roads were bad and any waterways that existed were frozen for 5 months of the year. In 1867, the different provinces came together to form one country, Canada. The act was known as Confederation. Now, the railways held the key to holding the new nation together. Without them, there could be no Canada.
The plan to extend the railway as far west as Vancouver here in British Columbia in 1885 would make the dream of one nation a reality, a united Canada stretching from coast to coast.
The proposed line was going to be hugely expensive for a country of only 3.5 million people, but nonetheless, a contract was signed with the Canadian Pacific Railway Company in October 1880. Five and a half years later, the first passenger train left Montreal on the 28th of June 1886, arriving in Port Moody, later known as Vancouver, 6 days later on the 4th of July.
The construction of the railway was one of the great engineering feats of the day. Cutting through the Rockies and the towering mountain ranges of British Columbia was a huge operation, which required a much bigger workforce than was available locally. So thousands of workers are brought over from China to do the spade work.
It was punishing work, and many hundreds of workers died in the process.
The new railway carried passengers to settlements in the Rocky Mountains, and every summer thousands of Canadians make the same journey. The best way to get a sense of the scale of the Rockies is to get up high, but as we don't know our crampons from our carabiners, we're not about to try the 1,000-metre climb to the top. Oh no, Stuart and I have decided to take the easy option.
This is the way to travel, isn't it?
Yeah.
None of you hiking up there. Oh, my ears just popped. Did yours?
No.
It must be
I must be abnormal.
It must be so wrong with my ears. I think it's the altitude. Rocky Mountains, we're in the Rocky Mountains.
Definitely altitude now.
We're in the mountains, we're in the Rockies. Wow, look at that. I mean, that's a stunning view, isn't it?
The air's fantastic as well, isn't it? 8,000 feet up.
Yeah.
Would be, really. I've got cold ears.
Have you?
The road from Lake Louise to Jasper, further north in the Rockies, is known as the Icefields Parkway and must be one of the most scenic highways in the world. Miles along the highway is the Columbia Icefield, a giant alpine lake of ice covering 130 square miles. Walking on it can be very dangerous, so there's another way of getting a close-up view of the glacier. So you do the tours in the winter as well, do you, Justin?
No, actually, they're just for 5.5 months, from May the 1st till October the 15th.
Is it because it's too much in this winter?
Yeah, in the wintertime it's really cold here and there's too much snow for us to plow through. It's usually down around minus 40 or minus 50 degrees Celsius here in the wintertime.
How thick is the ice?
Depends on where you are, but at the place where we're going to stop, up top, it's about 300 meters or 1,000 feet thick.
Oh.
So it's very thick up top.
So it's not likely to crack, that's what we're worried about?
No, not where we're going to be standing. There are a lot of cracks in the ice though. There's about 30,000 crevasses on this glacier.
Is what's underneath being eroded away all the time?
Yeah, the bedrock underneath gets eroded away. The glacier.
So is it moving all the time?
Yeah, it's moving all the time. The glacier always moves.
Right. So where will it end up? Not in the.
Well, it moves, but it melts back faster, so it's getting smaller. But it is moving all the time.
The glacier is 70,000 years old, and the melting water fell here as rain 150 years ago.
Okay, here we are now. No slipping over, all right?
Oh, it's stunning.
It's a bit chilly, isn't it?
It's bracing.
Right.
Here we are.
This corner here.
It's a giant bit of ice. nice.
Brilliant. It's like another planet, isn't it? The surface. It's almost like the moon.
It's like the
if you look at
moon.
it. Yeah.
300 metres down.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice
Solid
below
ice.
us, isn't there?
It's solid.
It's melting here. We've got a nice little stream.
Isn't that nice?
Right, go on, put your hand in.
Don't fall in.
Go on, put your hand
no,
in.
I'll support you. You go
Okay.
in.
You better support me.
I will. Go on. Nice.
Oh.
How was it? Let me feel your hand. Oh, love. Let's go and get it warmed up.
Let's
Come
get
on.
warm it up.
Recognising the region's special natural beauty, the Canadian government began protecting the area from development in the last century. National parks were established throughout the Rockies, and today an area larger than Wales is protected in 7 parks.
And here in the Banff National Park, it's not just the landscape that's protected, it's the wildlife too. It's an area that's rich in animal and bird life. If you look around, you might see an eagle, or a wolf, or maybe even a grizzly bear.
Marty Urquhart is a biologist working on a project in the national park, monitoring large mammals. He's studying the movements of 80 different animals.
Marty, what are the sort of wildlife that we've got around here?
We basically have almost all the large mammals that exist in Canada within the park. We have elk, moose, black bear, grizzly bear, wolf.
That's a lot of animals to look after.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I've been in Canada quite a while and been looking for a bear, but I haven't seen a single one yet. In fact, all I've seen so far is an elk. So how are we going to see anything today? How are we going to track them down? How do we know where to find them?
We're going to use an aircraft today, and we're going to use radio tracking. Individual animals, some moose, some elk, some grizzly bears, some wolves, have been caught over time, and they've all been given a collar that they wear around their neck, and there's a box in it. It's a small radio, and it sends out a signal.
We took off on Marty's weekly 4-hour radio tracking flight over a massive area of the park. During the flight, he has to locate every collared animal in his survey. The information he gains helps to build up a picture of the mammal population, how they're coping, what they're eating, and whether they still have their young with them. One by one, he locates them and marks their position. The first animal we spotted was a moose.
Marty, when was the last time you saw this moose?
I think it was last Thursday.
Right, okay, has it moved far?
Actually not.
Well, Marty's just got a signal that there's a grizzly bear down there. What we're doing at the moment is flying around in a box and making it smaller and smaller and smaller so that eventually we pinpoint exactly where the bear is. And Marty's using his aerials now and checking the direction that it's going in. But definitely somewhere down there is a grizzly bear. We're going to find it.
Well, if we have any luck here, you're about to see your first grizzly bear.
What's that down there?
Right down there.
Going down there?
I got it.
I got it.
See it down there, Marty? That's her.
There's the bear. We can't get too close because they've got cubs, but it really is an amazing sight to see these creatures in their natural habitat. Fantastic. Have these bears travelled far, Marty?
Yes, they have. They've probably traveled about 18 kilometers in probably just 3 to 4 days.
Canada is a fascinating country, and we will never forget the summer we spent there.
Formidable. Another chance to see those highlights on The Breakfast Show tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon at 5:10, another Record Breakers week begins. And next week, there's all of this.
Every day is a showbiz day on CBBC. Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, the curtain goes up and the show goes on.
I can't do it, I can't!
The Biz is back.
Load of lovies hugging and kissing.
And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's real-life drama as CBBC brings you an amazing new documentary. The Fame Game follows the lives of 4-star wannabes on the fast track to success. The Biz, the Fame Game, CBBC, the showbiz place to be every weekday at 5:10 starting next Monday.
Yes, we go very showbiz from next Monday. Now, at the moment, we're running a competition called Easy PC, where you could win your very own personal computer by telling us what you think computers will be used for in the future. And this is CBBC's final World Cup point, because Derek Carr, who's 14 from Birmingham, who's got very small writing, don't know how he's fitted it all on, has designed us a computer that can actually control the World Cup in the year 2002 in Japan. The managers just stay in their countries and look at these screens. The players wear these visors in their home country. And look at the bottom here, the fans can actually watch the players playing on the pitch in Japan because they're all holograms. I like the score there as well. England 1, Italy 0. Thank you very much, Derek. Very good entry indeed. I like all the stickers around the side as well. Tomorrow afternoon, Kirsten Notice will be back from 3:35, including Round the Twist and, of course, Record Breakers at 5:10. And Steve will be back in The Breakfast Show tomorrow morning at 7 on BBC 2. Have a good evening. Bye.